Hi everyone, and welcome back to Club Rhubarb After Hours, the slightly chaotic but always honest corner of your week. Heavy topic today though, but not chaotic, but in a fun way.
Yeah, today's episode is going to be quite an important one. We're going to be talking about Sarah, Everard and Sabina, Nessa.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Along with the other women who have lost their lives due to violence, and reflecting on where we are 5 years later.
We'll still keep it very us, open, honest and conversational, but just a quick warning that we will be discussing violence against women.
As per usual.
Shock.
Shock horror. So obviously, can you even believe it's been 5 years?
Because I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
But then to know it was so long ago, it's like, wow, where did the time go?
I know, and I don't know that it's because we work in the industry, like that's the whole thing. But
I'm not going to lie, like I always disassociate to these kind of things, because it's like every day as a woman you're experiencing something, and it's just sometimes it's just so debilitating to even process all of that. So it's easiest to just be like, no, I've got to deal with my own in the past 5 years, own personal things and violence against women. It's been happening also. It's not like a disassociate, I don't want to know about it, but you have to protect yourself and be able to work through.
yeah.
It's hard. Every single day you're experiencing those things, subtly or very openly.
Yeah. I mean, we had an incident last Thursday, so work. I was on my own here, me banging on the door. That's just, I'm not classing that as violence against women, not at all.
No, it is. I think it is.
It was frightening.
Don't diminish it, because it is, whether that person realised it or not.
No, that's the point.
It's the intimidation of it.
This is it, yeah. So, like, obviously, before we get into any stats, I think it's really important to talk about who Sarah and Sabina actually are, and there are some other ladies that were also killed around the same time. You know, we've often spoken about their cases, but they were real people with lives and families and friends.
So yeah, Sarah Everard was 33. She worked in marketing. She loved being outdoors, and she was just doing something completely normal, walking home, and was murdered.
Yeah.
By a police officer.
By a serving police officer.
The people who are meant to protect us.
It's serving anymore.
Thank God.
Yes.
We'll get on to that.
And Sabina Nessa, who was 28, a primary school teacher, from everything people said about her, she was kind, warm and really dedicated to her students, which I think is a shame, you know, because some people have that one teacher and she could have been that one teacher for a lot of people.
It's lost that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what hits the hardest, is the normality of this. Well, they're not unusual situations. Walking home. Sabina was walking through a park. I think she was going home.
Yeah. She decided to cut through.
Home. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so often, aren't we said, don't cut through. Don't go down dark alleyways.
Do you know,
where there's lights.
As like a female empowerment thing, I always go through the cut throughs, because I refuse to have that like fear of like, don't do this, don't do that. Why can I not do that? Like, I'm gonna do it.
There's some that I won't.
Yeah.
You know, like the one down the road, the under the motorway. I'll never go through ones like that.
No.
They scare the life out of me. But sometimes ones that I know, I'll sometimes be like, yeah, I'll go. Because one time there'll be no one there. Or sometimes there might be one person there, but they're not doing anything. Other times I'm like,
just proper
no,
hype myself.
I shouldn't go through there.
Hype myself up like, it's all right, Lauren, you got this. If you need to fight, you can fight.
I'm just one of the good girls.
And then when I get through the cut through, I'm like, yeah, I did it. It's so simple. It's such a simple feeling, but like how empowering that feels to a woman to do.
The hype up of like, yeah, I can do it, and you got to prep yourself, and then be like, right, you know, watch just in case, and then be like, oh, I did it. So you have all that pent up anxiety and worry. It's then be like, oh, I managed to cut through somewhere that I should be able to do anyway.
Yeah, I think these stories and these experiences that, you know, Sarah Everard and Sabina, I think that's why they stay with so many people, because it is such a, you know, it's everyone can see themselves in that and in their friends, because like we just said, we all do that as well, and it's like part of our everyday life, isn't it?
Yeah, fully agree.
And I know that obviously Francesca isn't here, but she did send me a couple of TikToks where there was African students that had come here to study, and they'd gone missing around the same time as Sarah and Sabina were killed. They were found to be murdered, and that's, you know, for her community as well, that's frightening, isn't it? So it's not just in a white community, it's not just in an Asian
It's all
community,
communities.
it's all
It's
communities.
just all women.
It's just who the news puts on.
Which is where we're going to come to, because
Yeah.
that's a massive bugbear of mine, is that they weren't broadcast enough, because we were saying we hadn't heard of this.
Yeah.
Why have we not heard of it? It was around the same time, which was really interesting. So, Queen of Facts have put some facts together for us, Lauren. She's going to quiz us.
First question. How many women were killed by men in the UK in 2021?
Too many.
Fact.
100.
Higher.
By just all, like,
Just by men.
in 1
200.
year.
In 1 year. Lower.
150.
A little bit lower.
I mean, I have the answer here, but
What did you...
I put 147.
147.
It is, it's
147.
147. But only 6 of those were...
6 were in Greater Manchester.
That was the police, not boroughs, or is it boroughs?
Yeah.
Police departments in the UK. Manchester was like in the top 5 for most deaths of women in 2021.
Which I thought was shocking.
Yeah.
Because I know it's a big city, but I just felt that was really shocking. And because it's your city as well, you find...
I think, because you'd think that's happening like London.
I don't even think those, I can't say this word.
They're hidden.
Just statistics
Stats.
are accurate either, because I feel like with sometimes the police file things as other things.
Yeah.
So I think they probably won't even be, they'll probably would have been more.
So it's from femicide census, but they follow things in real time. So it's, say if a case happened in 2021, you might not have an outcome until 2023, 2024. So because they do it and keep on top, it's a long process. So there are things that change, and it's long to read. It's like 35 pages. I read it all, but that does it into categories of, this is how many women were killed. This is by like a partner, a brother, a dad,
A stranger.
a stranger.
Because that's really what... Because obviously we're... Technically what happened to Sarah and Shamima isn't domestic violence, because they didn't know the perpetrator. It's gender-based violence, so it is female. It's male against female violence, which is worrying, and it's not so reported either.
It's also...
That's where it files it as sort of different things.
An interesting point. Have you ever watched Criminal Minds?
Yes.
So, do you know Mandy Patinkin?
Don't know the names of them.
Sorry. He played... obsessed. He played Jason Gideon in the first early series.
Okay.
But he left because there was too many episodes where it was just all violence against women. So he said, I can't keep doing it. It's not right.
This is what sells newspapers. It's like scandalizes it, doesn't it?
It's
And
like
it's our lives. This is
It's the headlines,
women.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the way that they write the headlines for gender-based violence, and like it is like they always make the woman like the main focus, and not like, oh, it'd be like, woman tragically lost her life because she walked down the dark alley, like it was her fault.
Yeah.
Rather than
Lunatic.
unhinged
Yeah.
man murdered someone who was just going home.
But then you
Yeah.
get that when it's men, it'll be crazy stalker, ex-girlfriend, murdered, loving sweet boyfriend, age
Yes.
33,
Yeah.
because of a domestic, what's that word?
Or-
No, dispute.
Okay, yeah.
And it'll be
Dispute.
like, yeah. And it's like,
Really? No.
really? Sure. Okay.
It's like Baby Reindeer. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He didn't know her really.
Yeah. That was
I
crazy.
know. Creepy.
Anyway, what percentage of these killings happened in a home setting?
78%.
That's a good one, but lower.
20%.
Higher.
49.
A little bit higher.
52.
Go on, just put us out of our misery.
51, 52, 53, 54, 55.
Don't know, because while it was wrong, I'm thinking of the wrong year, so it was actually 74%. Women either killed in their own home or the perpetrator's home.
Wow.
So it's still a home setting.
Okay, and these are women that are known to the perpetrators.
Yes.
Because you do have women that will go on dates and stuff like that, get killed.
It's like that lady who was the British backpacker. She went to Australia and New Zealand.
Alice.
I think is that her name, the student.
No, Grace.
Oh,
Grace.
and she went on that
Tinder date.
yeah, with that guy, and then he killed her in his, was it hotel room or his house?
So that's what brought the law in about rough sex,
Yeah.
and that you can't use that as a defence.
Okay.
Because before that, perpetrators were able to use that as a defence.
What, like, I didn't know?
I didn't know my actions were going to cause her to die
Wow.
because she enjoyed being strangled.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Surely you
I'm
know.
sorry.
It's like,
Surely you know, like, you know.
now they're trying to change that, aren't they? Is it in porn that they're trying to take strangulation out of it?
I think so. They're trying to really monitor what is being put out there.
I mean, don't know why it wasn't done years ago, but...
Oh, if you're into that kind of thing, that's totally fine, and we're not here to judge. But
You'd think that you would know, though, like,
and have
when
some
you're,
safe words and some consent around
when you're
that.
actively involved in that, when it's getting a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To not just be like, oh, I didn't realise. Of course she realised.
Well, that's why it's now not used as a defence, because he was seen on CCTV going and getting all the
Yeah.
bits to bury her in with, and bury her body out in the outback. But that's only recently. That's only a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
which just blows my mind.
True. But of that 74%, 52% of those were domestic intimate partner violence, and the highest age range of perpetrators was 26 to 35, which was like 28% of them.
Quite young, really, isn't it?
It's quite interesting that, how much did you say? 52%?
Yes.
So the remaining percent weren't involved with that, still quite a high number.
Yeah.
Like, for men to just decide, oh, woman, kill her. Like, what? That you don't even know.
But see, in that, there was 14 that said it was an accident, 14 blaming someone else or lying, 12 blamed the victim, nice one, 4 had memory loss, 1 was the rough consensual sex, and one couldn't cope, and 1 had injuries self-inflicted by the victim. I think that clearly states, please stop what you're doing.
Or did they start it, or what? But that's not no excuse to then kill somebody, is it?
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's bizarre.
Because it's like the...
Memory loss.
But it's like a lot of them, there was a link with mental health, gambling, addiction.
I remember when I was doing my law A level, we were talking about a case where a man had taken so much, like it was like LSD or something like that, and had killed his wife lying next to him because he thought she turned into a snake.
That is so sad.
So, I mean, I don't know how the relationship was before that. I think it was like in the 60s and the 70s. It was like old case law.
That is so sad.
and he'd killed her.
Imagine coming out of that trip and being like, "Where's my wife?"
Well, this is it. So,
Yeah.
so it was
What?
like, was he done for manslaughter? Was he done for murder? Was he in like diminished responsibility? Because
Well, he's under
under an influence
under the Mental
of,
Health Act. He's
yeah,
under the influence, so he's not cognitively like there.
because
Is
you're
he? So
not
you,
gone out
I
to
don't
do
think
it.
that would have been. That would
I think it was a
probably,
manslaughter case.
yeah.
But memory loss,
That comes under the Mental Health Act as well, though. That
where you black out and
my experience, one of my experiences with violence against a woman, was someone that I didn't know, and the day after that happened, police came, sat on my sofa. Oh, he really struggles with his mental health and da 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 da, and it was like,
yeah, well,
you,
so do
I
I. I'm not going to go
literally,
round and trying to kill people,
Yeah.
you're literally sat talking to a victim of a crime and
trying to
asking me to
downplay it.
empathise with the man that just did that. And
Yeah,
you guys know me, I am a very empathetic person. I love to find a million excuses why people will do something bad before I penalise them for that. But to have someone do that when you've just actively been involved in that was just insane to me. I just thought, I actually can't believe that this is happening right now. That I'm hearing these words come out of his mouth. Like, yes, I want to be empathetic towards this man and his mental health issues, but hello, who's being empathetic to me
Yeah.
and on my life that was almost taken
yeah, another
because
step.
of someone else's mental health issues?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It just doesn't make any sense, does it?
Well,
Hide behind diagnoses, and I don't understand that at all. That's what bothers me.
If you're a twat, you're a twat.
facts.
You can't attach any reason to that. Hey,
I've got two more facts,
Next,
and
next.
then we can go.
Okay.
Move on.
Okay.
How
Funny
many
sort of quiz.
perpetrators had a known history of violence against women? So this is still in the same statistics.
percentages.
Yeah.
How many already had a known violence against women?
30%?
Higher.
45?
Higher.
89.
Ooh. Lower. Sorry for the false hope.
Oh no, I got excited.
Put us out of our misery.
Not excited. Obviously not getting.
62% were already known to have histories of violence against women.
Oh, okay. So this is where Claire's Law comes in, isn't it? If you can get it.
Claire's Law.
I did that once for someone that I know. And that was because they were worried about the person finding out that they'd done it. And I said, I'll do it because this person doesn't know me. So therefore, I don't really care.
And did you manage to get that from the police?
They went...
I didn't think they'd allow someone else to do it on someone else's
maybe.
behalf.
Well...
Did you kind of like jib it a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you
Off
got
the
to do.
record, yeah.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, though,
Yeah.
like to
Yeah,
be able
yeah,
to
yeah.
get what you need to get.
She was genuinely concerned, and I'd rather her know if there was anything than not know and
Yeah.
risk it.
Yeah.
So
Because what kind of a system is that anyway? You're meant to be protecting women,
exactly.
and you then disclosing that information to the perpetrator. If like,
It's a strange one. And
It
then if
is.
people...
it's good that it exists.
I mean, it's good, and it stops people just doing it willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really like the look of him. I'm going to find out all about him. But
Yeah.
also, there's some genuine concerns there, and sometimes you cannot get the information.
It's a bit like, do you ever see them, are we dating the same guy and you share the concerns of... I know that's not the
I
same,
know.
but it's still...
I'm not gonna lie, that Facebook profile is my go-to pastime. I love scrolling that and just being like, oh, I've got anyone to watch out for on these dating apps. I think I've seen maybe one or two people that I know of on that app, on that page. Yeah.
It's like those con men things, isn't it?
And it's interesting to see how other people perceive those people. One of them I know quite well. Yeah, so it's interesting to see how they're perceived in like the dating world to just being someone that you know.
Yeah.
Interesting. But controversially, I feel like that page a lot of women use it in the wrong way, and it's turned into more of a gossip
Yeah,
and kind of like, let's just slay all men.
because
And
then
like, even if you've not even, it's meant to be helping protect
Yeah.
women, but some people would just do it for like gossip, or oh, I'm gonna go on a date, who is this guy?
Yeah,
Like,
any
you've not,
tea.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just like, you need to be able to separate your personal experiences with someone. Like, if they've just let you down on a date, like, you know, you might have just not been the person for them. Doesn't mean they're a predator.
No.
I think it can be used in a wrong way. And I know a lot of men and some of my friends have felt really anxious about being posted on that website when they are genuinely good people. But it's like putting yourself out. Sometimes people won't put themselves out there in fear of being, you know, being posted all over social media. Like, here's this person. Is he a creep? Like,
Yeah.
you can just not get along with each other.
He's just not that into
Yeah,
you.
just not that into you. Like, it doesn't have
Just
to
move
be
on. It's
all
check
that.
out number
Yeah.
5, innit? Like,
Very
Yeah.
entertaining page though. Very
It is.
entertaining.
It is. It's a weird one.
Anyway, very off
Last one.
topic.
Last
Off
one.
topic there.
last
Yeah.
one
What was the most common method used?
to kill somebody.
Yeah. No.
Strangulation.
No. Think more of like psycho.
Knife.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sharp instruments.
Fucking
Were
hell.
used in 52%.
So not necessarily just a
wild.
knife.
Yeah, but that could be anything. Right?
Yeah. You can sharpen.
What is the definition of a sharp instrument?
I really would have thought it would have been
anything with
like.
a point, yeah.
I really would have thought it would have been like physical, like
Or
fist
strangulation.
or strangulation. But there's like that's like a whole next step, isn't it? Thinking about that, then going to reach for that, then doing that.
Wouldn't you have thought a strangulation or a push down the stairs? Something, would that be more of a crime of passion rather than going and getting an instrument to kill that person?
Yeah,
because then you're
that's-
thinking about
You're thinking
it, aren't
about
you?
the steps. There's
Yeah.
multiple steps there.
And usually it's when women are thinking about leaving their partners is the most dangerous part, because they're losing that control over that one person.
Yeah.
They're losing their milk cow, really, aren't they? Let's be honest, sometimes.
Yeah. But then it says
Milk cow, not milk cow, you know what I mean.
I don't even know what you meant with that.
Cash cow.
Cash cow.
Cash cow, not milk cow, because milk cows can produce milk anyway.
I was just going along with it.
I kind of zoned out for a little bit, and I was like, "What's she talking about?" I don't know. Zone out.
Anyway,
No, so,
moving on
yeah.
swiftly.
But there was force in some of them, so it could be like hitting, kicking, stamping,
Brute force. Yeah.
asphyxiation, strangulation. Yeah,
Okay.
just brutal.
Because strangulation is really personal, isn't it? Like,
It
you
also
are-
takes a lot of force to
and a
do.
lot of effort. Yeah.
Yeah.
A long
Yeah.
time. So you know what you're doing. You
So
know
therefore,
what you're doing.
that can't be defined as like a crime of
No.
passion. No.
So, I think something that surprises me is how many cases happen at home, in the home. And I know that Refuge are running a big campaign at the moment, aren't they?
Oh, their campaign is so smart because
They have
it's the
coffin
way that they've
doors.
done it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also like the house signs that you have outside, like to let or to buy, whatever. They've done that with like the wording, you know, like to let, can you let us be safe, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But they've done it in such a really smart way that, like, because I was talking to you about it, that it stuck with me. And you see so many campaigns for different things, but that one's really stuck in my brain.
It's the coffin-shaped doors that.
I think it's
that's
also
really
the
strong.
What is
the
this?
song.
I don't think I've seen this.
The Refuge. So Refuge are another a big charity that help victims of domestic violence
Yeah.
and gender-focused abuse, and they are running a big campaign where they want to make sure that women are safe within their own
Within
homes,
their home, yeah.
because a lot of the time they aren't.
It is,
Obviously
yeah.
not.
It's like that age-old thing of like, oh, don't talk to strangers, or
Don't open the door.
don't talk to strangers. Like, strangers will do this to you, but then really, your enemies
people you
are
know.
the closest people to you. Yeah. Like, and it's
It's scary. It's
Yeah.
a really scary fact, that.
Yeah, because it's either you stay at home and that person gets removed, or you go, but then you have to figure out where you're going to go. What did you do with all your belongings? What if you've got kids? Where are they going to go?
But even still, so if you remain in your own home, which you have every right to do, and the perpetrator is removed, he knows where your kids go to school.
Yeah.
If you've got children, he knows where you go to work.
Because that's an extra layer if you have kids, that technically they have parental rights and access.
Yeah.
But that prolongs it for the woman in the relationship.
Well, family courts don't see domestic abuse like we see domestic abuse. So a perpetrator could file for so many. There is no limit. Well, there might be now, because Women's Aid have done that massive campaign for custodial rights. So it's not an automatic given right that if you were a victim of a perpetrator of domestic abuse, that you are going to have custody of your children.
Yeah, because it's seen in family courts, it's seen as more of like, how can we work this out? Like, how can we resolve this?
But
how
they
can we,
file,
keep the family together?
They could
and
file
sometimes
so
the best
many.
thing for the family is to separate it.
Well, this is it. But they
wish
can
people took more
file so
time
many things again and again and again
to know who they're dating. Well, then sometimes saying that you might think, oh, this is the perfect one, and then emotions are so, like, human emotions are so complex, aren't they, that anything can trip us off and anything can kind of complicate that. And sometimes when you are in such love, is like such a passionate emotion that there's such a fine line between it, isn't it, from going like perfect to going completely tits up.
But I think, is it sociopaths that can keep that, like, maintain that mask for a long time and kind of make you feel like you're crazy, or is that psychopaths?
Or is that narcissism?
I don't know. Could be all
They're all kind of linked with that.
Could be all three of it.
We're not mental health professionals, so we don't know.
But you see that sometimes in some relationships where people go, oh, he was so lovely at the start, did everything for me, and then one day he did this, and I was like, oh, he said sorry, so. And then it kept happening, and then like the mask kind of slips a bit.
But if
when you get
look,
it,
though, they read a book, don't they? Almost, it's almost like they have like a manual, like they give out.
I think it's just extremely sad as well, like the complexity of emotions, and like a lot of the time it's trauma bonding as well. And you can be so like passionately involved with someone and so in love with that person that you dismiss those negative interactions and you think, oh, okay, well, this is just building, like, it's making our relationship stronger. And you kind of get into that way of thinking of, right, well, we've been through all this great stuff and we've been through all this bad stuff, like, we can make it. And you, as the woman, you think it's all right, like, these things happen, not everything can always be perfect. And that is right in a relationship. But in a healthy relationship, you resolve those issues and you move forward. And I think sometimes men and women like find it very difficult to move forward from those interactions, and that's when it becomes a build up and build up and build up and escalates into really, really tragic consequences. Yeah.
I mean, if we move on to the policing sort of situation that we were talking about in terms of Sarah Everard.
Yeah, because that's completely different to what we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, like,
we're different, yeah.
But now we're 5 years on, so what has actually changed? I mean, one of the biggest impacts of Sarah Everard was the affected trust of the police if you didn't already not trust the police. Many people didn't trust the police at that point anyway.
I don't think I will ever trust the police.
I genuinely trusted the police before that. I think because I'd only ever had good interactions with them, I've never had a bad one. Still to this day, I've still never had a bad one.
I feel like...
But all of these things, and then obviously the things that I see through here, it makes me go, I wouldn't be as comfortable to now go to the police.
No.
I've always had a terrible, like, I've never trusted them. When I was 16 years old, I was gripped by a police officer, and this whole part of my arm was like really, really bruised. 16-year-old girl, like, gripped by a police officer. All I was doing was getting drunk in the park. I was doing was getting drunk in the park, and then I got upset because, like, he came and approached me really aggressively. I've grown ass man coming and approaching you really aggressively, and then, being really confrontational and not kind of I'm a drunk teenage girl, you know, you'd think that you would trust them to help you rather than physically assault you.
But this is in the Bard report, so I know you've read it, Chelsea.
I have. Do a lot of reading, me.
But that was sort of the running theme through the Bard report after all this with Sarah Everard. That's the big police inquest came about, was the way that they approach women. The way that
So
they use their
aggressive.
power and control, because a lot of these men, and this is maybe a broad sweeping statement, but a lot of these men go into this sort of role for the power and control it has over other people.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever
Yeah.
reason.
With the police, there is a lot of documented cases
Yeah.
with how awful the police are. And it's really sad, but
Do you know the saddest part is that I worked in like the HR department and in nursing for the police. Some of these men were lovely.
some of them are really
some of
there
them-
to do the job properly
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
think that they can make a change, but
Yeah.
it's so systemic.
And
that-
some of them, you were like, I won't touch you with a 10-foot barge pole.
Do you know?
And some of
not
these
want to be in
people
the same
really
room
get
as you.
jobs like to be, you know, like we all know about how awful the police are with minorities and people who are not white. Some people actively go into that role to be like the biggest bully and to be racist and to be able to give them a reason to actually lawfully be hateful towards
Because
people.
you hide behind a badge, you hide
because
behind a uniform.
you are like, I have the authority to do that, and that is so dangerous. And I know that not all police officers are like that, and there are people who genuinely care, but it's such a toxic even if you are a good person who's gone into that, you could so easily be manipulated and swayed into becoming one of those people, and you're around that and succumb to everything that you're around. It was just so, you just can't trust it. I personally just cannot trust them.
I
Like,
think after all these things that have happened in the past 5 years and reading the Bard report, Bard inquiry, that really affected my attitude towards the police.
That's interesting.
Because I think obviously I can read so many cases, I can hear so many things, but it's the fact that all of these women, something has happened, whether that's they've unfortunately lost their life or they've been assaulted in some way, but the fact that nothing has changed.
So in 2023, Baroness Casey's review of the Met, so the Met Police in London, revealed institutional racism, misogyny and homophobia. So this is when we went, I don't know if you remember Grace telling you about the Million Women's Rise movement. And we went
Yes.
and
Yeah.
stood outside the police station.
yes,
So it found hundreds of officers with misconduct allegations, including sexual offences, had not been dismissed. So they're covering it up. The Met had lowered vetting standards in the backgrounds of prospective and existing police officers and staff between 2013 and 2023. The report found 5,073 officers and staff, so police staff, had not been properly vetted, and the Met estimated 1,200 applicants may have been turned down under normal vetting practices. And do you know who worked for the Met, guys? Sarah Everard's perpetrator. So there you go. And he had many allegations put to him, and they did not dismiss him.
What is the vetting process to become a police officer? Should we just like maybe discuss that? What do we know the process?
I applied for a position once.
Oh.
Not as to be a police officer,
Police staff.
to work, like in the office.
Yeah.
And I had to be really thorough. If I have tattoos, you had to take a picture of every single one and give a reason behind what each tattoo meant. And as someone who has 57 tattoos, right?
So weird.
At
That's
the
such a
time I did it.
specific.
Big email.
But at the time I didn't. But I went through and explained every single one. And then it was like, it can't go, like the file's too big. And I was like, well, I can't, if you need to know every single one, I can't make it shorter. So then I had to be like, I just like the design. And then they said no. And I was like,
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't think any of my tattoos are offensive.
I just did a I
That's-
just had to have an enhanced DBS.
Sorry, that's such a weird like thing to ask for though. Surely
it
it's
was
like,
also- I'm
what's
not-
your opinion
but I
on this?
wasn't
Or what's your opinion on
with
that?
the
Not
public.
what bloody tattoos have you got?
But that's not even
No.
going anywhere near
Yeah.
how your
Yes,
personal
tattoos
views
can
are.
be used to show
Like
gang affiliations
your,
and-
yeah,
Yeah.
your opinions and
Which
stuff
I
like
get.
that.
But it was like a really long
basically,
process.
you know,
This
it's like,
application.
I've just got a swastika on promises.
Yeah,
I'm
that
pretty
makes
sure your Jammy Dodger one will not.
Hey,
Because I know America does
do you know what? We're having a
because
cool gang.
tattoos are a lot more involved in gang compared to England and the UK.
Imagine I come to a restaurant and I've got a soccer one, a lion, a jammy dodger, like
Yeah.
a flower.
That's hardly causing me a threat, is it? Or do you know, I feel like
So
I can't look at your Jammy Dodger.
I mean,
It's
the only one
offensive
that I
to
could
me.
think is that I do have that lady. That's the only one I can think of. But that's like the rest are just weird.
They're just random ones, aren't they? But well,
Yeah.
not random. They mean something to you.
No, genuinely, they're just random.
Okay.
so other than them asking about your tattoos, what is the process? Enhanced DBS.
I had an enhanced, but I think that's because I wasn't. I was literally in there like doing their
Yeah.
research and HR bit, so it's not.
Enhanced DBSs are good, but also don't always like. There are many
So I
people who are
know-
violent who don't have criminal convictions.
So I know for the GMP, I didn't work for the GMP, but the GMP. So like everybody here, we have to have one every 3 years. Yeah, they didn't have that. Not sure if that's now changed, but when we were doing that, we were running that campaign with other women's collectives for What's the Plan Andy in terms of what the GMP were doing. I'd have loved to have got them on here, Barbara and Dee. But that was the process and that's what we were up in arms about, because anything could change within those 3 years. So why
Do you not
aren't
think it
so
should
why
be
why do
increased?
nurses have to have it? Why do children's services have to do it? Why nursery workers, doctors, GPs?
So for the police, is that still one every 3 years, or is it just one and you're done?
One and you're done.
Why they should have it done
All
annually?
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Especially
It
when
should be
you're
on the
working
subscription service as
with
well.
when you're working with people, vulnerable
Yes.
people. Go on, Lauren.
Go on, sorry. She's Googled it.
GMP Police UK website. What does the process involve? You will be asked to complete an online form and provide information to confirm your identity, where you live. Additional information will be requested. If you're applying for police staff, police officer, or special constable role, you'll be required to provide full details of your parents, your children, your brothers, your sisters, husband, wife, partner, housemates, anyone you know that is involved in criminal activities or has a conviction or caution.
It's kind of bog standard, that though.
Yeah.
There's
Can I
no-
work for the police if I have a criminal conviction or caution? Possibly.
That should say no.
Each case is considered, but depending on, like, it could
You could have
be,
shoplifted
yeah.
at 50.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Each case
No,
is considered.
You're wrong.
You could also have been like actively involved in kind of a case where you are,
Yeah.
you know, where, say for example, the police are penalizing you for specific, like for your race, for example. I know people who have had criminal convictions because they're black men, like, and they've literally done fuck all wrong, like, and you know, just because they've been racially profiled. So that is quite fair.
But it's fairly bog standard though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't.
There's no training element. Well, there is training now, but that was the other thing this campaign sort of brought to light was
What is the training
what's
process?
your training process?
Yeah,
It's 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
To become a police officer.
Yeah.
That's scary.
So that's the other thing, isn't it? So actually you're not...
You do longer for probation.
Surely not.
You do longer for everything. Nursing, you won't get on the wards until you are fully...
A
full
doctor,
on.
that takes like, what, 10 years?
Training
7 years?
program for Greater Manchester Police. To be a special constable takes 10 to 12 weekends across a 3-month period.
Weekends.
I don't know what about normal.
I think it was 6 weeks, unless they've upped it now, but that's what...
Recruitment process.
That's the kind of thing that we sort of found, was that there's no specialist training or things like that, and if you're not interested in that, are you
12
definitely
weeks
gonna
to
get-
progress through all stages of recruitment for so you have interview, fitness test,
But 12 weeks is still not long enough either, is
online
it?
application, initial application sift,
But your actual like
online
training
assessment,
is 6
interview,
weeks.
pre-employment, and then
You go to
you'll
training
have
camp sort of thing.
a training. Yeah, so 12 weeks for that whole process. It's not a lot.
And I get that they want the police officers, they need the police officers quickly. But then you're putting almost rookies in the field with no experience.
It's a very
And then
highly
it's
emotional-
heightened then, isn't it?
It's a very highly emotional job as well.
Well,
Like if
yeah.
personally think part of the vetting process for the police
How do you deal with
should
confrontation?
be therapy. Like, and I don't know whether they do that, but like I feel like everyone should have to have mandatory therapy sessions before they even enter the police to find out if you do have any unresolved trauma yourself and how you can work through that. Because I think me and my mum was literally talking about this before. Sometimes you will have people who get denied those jobs or people that work in those jobs who are just glorified bullies. Like you can work with the law and to just put your trauma and your views onto other people. So I think everyone should have to go through that process of like, what's your views on this? Obviously everyone's entitled to different views and opinions, and it's very tricky. Like, free speech is a thing, but also at the same time, if you're working in a field like that, you have to be neutral, you have to be level-headed.
Let's be honest, these people should be your go-to for safety. And are they necessarily? So what's Gemma Sherrington, who's the chief exec of Refuge, has said women and girls' confidence in policing remains at crisis point, and called for meaningful, lasting change. And what does better look like? Like, do you just start
a lot
again?
of police officers might not all, some might not understand the law, because the law is very broad and there's lots of, subsections, 1.1.1a of something.
But they see it as that it's not their job to enforce it. It's to enforce the law, not to understand it.
No, I get that, but I mean, from reading that, some of them are being arrested for the wrong thing.
Yes.
Just because
Yeah.
they can say
How
that.
can you enforce something if you don't understand?
If you don't
Yeah.
understand it, yeah. And they should, and 12 weeks is not long enough to understand any kind of law.
No.
You have to train to
Be a solicitor, yeah. A long time.
I think that it should be a process like that. Not to the same extent, but having further training on things like domestic abuse and violence, trauma responses,
How people deal with different things.
yeah,
don't they?
knife crime, gun crime,
yeah.
whatever. So it should really be like a year, maybe a year and a half.
To have a decent understanding of it, you don't have
Yeah.
to be full on, like...
Well, since what you said, since Sarah Everard, there's been over 1,500 staff removed. And
5 years, that's not
yeah,
good
5
enough,
years,
is it?
that's
Let's be
not a
honest.
lot at all.
When how big is the Met and how big is GMP?
Data published by the force, 28 members of staff were dismissed for sexual misconduct in 2024 to 25. So 28 staff in 1 year, while 39 would have been sacked in the same year if they didn't resign or retired. Just shows there that you know what you are doing.
Can I also say that some officers, not all, prey on domestic violence victims. So they go to a home address where this has happened, and then they get into a relationship with this woman.
Yeah.
It could be genuine. It could absolutely be genuine. You could fall in love with somebody, you walk through the door, absolutely, whatever. But sometimes you can feel that that's a bit of a predatory move, that you're preying on somebody that is already vulnerable.
Yeah. Fully agree.
Yeah.
But it's, how many women have to continue to die, be hurt, not feel safe for them to do something? It's like the top dog of the police, I don't remember his name, but I did research it. He said that he understands why women don't trust the police. And that's coming from the head honcho.
So if he understands, why has he not done anything about that?
Exactly. I think he's called Mark. Don't quote me on that.
Is that
but
GMP or
no? That's like
like the top dog in top?
I think that's like more like metropolitan London way.
Because this is the other thing, is that in England they've got all the different forces, whereas in Scotland and I think Wales it's just one force, isn't it?
I think so.
That's the problem as well, is that then it's miscommunication between the two forces.
Yeah.
All the forces, not just two forces. It's all these big ones.
No, I agree. It's messes with your head a bit.
Yeah. Do you remember how you felt when you first heard about Sarah?
I remember thinking we need to install more lamps on the street, which might sound daft,
Not at all.
but we should have like energy saving light bulbs so they don't cost as much money.
I like how you've thought about the
Considerate queen
efficiency of
for the environment.
Well, no, because that's why there's not as many streetlights anymore.
Yes.
Councils
Can't afford it. They're bankrupt. Yeah.
Especially in areas where you shouldn't walk because it's not safe. There should be at least 1, 2 with these energy saving light bulbs so that women feel safer to walk through. But at the time, I know all of my friends, family, whatever, it was a big, if you're going anywhere, let me know, time, where you going, how long you're going to be there, who you're meeting, let me know when you're coming back, how you getting there, how you getting back. It was like...
But that's what happened with Sarah. Her
Yeah.
friends were like, you need to text me when you get home. She was literally walking home from her friend's house on the main road.
Yeah.
So she'd done the good girl thing and stayed on the main road. And he'd followed her.
I just remember feeling like
Angry.
really angry, but also like not even surprised. Like, and that's really sad. But also angry because it's like, why is this not anything like against her? Like, everybody's death should be publicized. Everything needs to be out in the open. But I remember just being angry that this one woman, but what about all the other women as well? Like, what about all the women that aren't ever spoken about? And I remember speaking to people and being like, there's women of like minorities who literally go missing every single day and who are not accounted for. And there's people that will be attacked, hate crimes, like, racially abused, racially attacked, murdered. And then what about all of those women as well? Like, and then I just remember just feeling so disappointed, like, and it just further reinforced my belief of like, the police are not here to help us. They're not here to help the general public. It genuinely never feels like they're there to help the general public. It's just more of an enforcement of, or like protecting the people who are.
But you saw them when people were gathering for the vigil for her and Samima as well. They were dragging women away. And it was a peaceful protest. It makes you angry. It makes you...
For me, I felt a bit sick when she'd been found, what had happened, and the WhatsApp chats.
Oh God, yeah, I remember that. Oh God, that's just a lot of
that was more
memory.
shocking, I think, than her death, unfortunately, because this is the world that we live in. It's the fact that these WhatsApp groups existed and they were taking this fucking piss about women who had died or victims of death, murder or whatever, and they were taking the piss.
Ugh.
Like, it's funny, like, oh, everybody's got a bit of black humour, like nurses, doctors, dark humour because it gets you through the job. We have in this job as well. If you laugh,
have to.
If you laugh, you'll cry all the time. Like, there's no
humour
doubt
is
about
the only way that I've ever got through any of my traumatic experiences. Just make jokes about it. People will be like,
but we don't.
I'll make a joke and people will be like, oh my God, Lauren, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, like this is my coping mechanism, guys.
Yeah. But we're not on WhatsApp groups going, oh, look at this person, she's a dickhead. Look what she's got herself into. Oh, yuck. Oh, sorry, it's just... Taking pictures of dead bodies or rape victims?
Wild.
How is that
sociopathic. That is so psychotic. Like,
I think that was the main point for me, why it stuck with me a bit more. But also, I remember being in my little flat, hearing about it, and it made me feel really sick. I was like, what do I do? Obviously, I can't do anything. But like, I was like, if I had to go to the police, would I want to now? Probably not.
No. Well, it sort of brings me on to my next question. Do you think it changed how you go about everyday things?
I think it made me more fiercely independent as a woman. I think I kind of thought, do you know what? Like, I'm not standing for that. Like, I'm not just going to turn into like a cowardice little woman now because, you know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I personally didn't want to let that affect me and my independence and make me further feel intimidated.
Yeah.
So I kind of was like, I didn't want to let it affect me like that.
I think it has though, hasn't
But
it?
also, is that me just like pushing that down and not facing that fact that these things are happening
I think
and it could literally be
yeah.
any of us?
I mean, I think I definitely lost a bit of confidence in myself during those times, during COVID as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it certainly wasn't helping the matters.
Yeah, go on a walk. Okay.
Not on my own.
Go on a walk. I actually remember, so I had a friend who lived round the corner from me, and I was living in Weast at the time.
There's nothing wrong with
Don't ever
waste.
go there.
Oh, Sean.
No offense.
No offense, Sean.
And I remember saying to him, I'm gonna go for a walk, and he was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, I need to go out for a walk. Like, I'm in the fucking house and I feel insane. Need to get out of the house. And because we were kind of like, he was kind of my personal bubble because he was a neighbor, so we used to go around and see each other and like have dinner together and stuff like that. So it was kind of like we made sure that it was like that, and we would go on walks together. And I remember him like, please let me come for a walk with you because you can't go and walk through that park on your own. It's like pitch black. At the time, I was just like, oh, stop being like so protective. Like, I'm trying to empower myself. But then upon reflection, so grateful to have such an amazing man and friend to offer that. And obviously him as a good man felt that impact as well of, I need to make sure that that woman is safe because all of this stuff has just happened.
I think there's lots of places that you can be dragged into.
Yes.
Like there's the well and all sorts of like hidden corners. It's a big park.
It's a big park, yeah. And there's one strip of it where there's absolutely no lights. And I would look down it and I'd be like, should I do it? Should I? And then when my friend came with me, I said to him, I never did go down it on my own, but when we used to go on walks together at night, I'd be like, please can we walk down this way? And he's like, why? And I'm like, it just feels really empowering to be able to walk down this strip in the park with no lights and be protected because you're here. And he was like, I didn't even think like how deep that would be for you. And I was like really excited, like, yes, I can finally walk down this road in the park with no lights because I've got a man with me to protect me.
It's a bit like our local park. It's not very well lit. Oh, you won't really want to go on your own in night time.
Yeah.
Like
Gorse Hill Park as well. Gorse Hill Park. I'm honestly, I'm awful for just being fiercely independent. And
Gorse Hill Park's quite fairly open though, isn't it? There's
Yeah.
nowhere that you could.
But there's no lights in Gorse Hill
No.
Park. There is no lights at all. And I don't personally I feel like I've had so many altercations with men. I'm just like, haha, not scared of you.
Today,
So
Satan.
I'm not one of those women that can be intimidated by men because I will just laugh in your face. So I never really feel unsafe walking through that park. There's only been one time that I have felt unsafe walking through that park, and it's because there was a guy at the end and he had an absolute ginormous dog. And I'm not really scared of ginormous dogs.
He was
Like,
probably just walking his dog.
my ex used to have a ginormous dog and he was basically like a small horse and he was honestly the nicest, cutest thing ever, and so friendly. So I'm not scared of big dogs, but because it was dark and because it was a man with a big dog, I was just like, this is the first time I've actually like felt scared in quite a long time walking through a park in the dark.
Interesting.
See, it's like where I grew up, I never had that.
No.
Because our park was weird because mine was Woods End Park. So it was like, it was near the main road, near all the buses. So therefore there was loads of street lights. But it's also different sections of the park. And then next to that, there's a big field. So it was like everywhere was lit pretty much. So I didn't have that worry. Because it was like if I had to walk somewhere around there at night, I always felt comfortable too. Unless it was going more towards like Broadway.
To be fair, so in the late 90s when the Trafford Centre was built, you could walk through from up here, couldn't you? And there was a woman that was killed by a man, unknown to her. And then they just closed that bit off. You can't walk through it anymore. You can't access the Trafford Centre from up here.
Wow.
You know, walking.
Do you know what though? We're all talking about walking in the dark and in the dark and but wasn't Sarah Everard killed like it wasn't like 7 p.m. or something? Wasn't it daylight? Or am I just made that up?
On the CCTV, it looked dark.
Was it? But these things do happen like in the daylight. It doesn't.
Of course,
yeah,
absolutely. It doesn't
it's
matter
not
whether
just
it's
in the
there.
dark.
It's like ghosts don't just come out at night, do they? So,
yeah. Some people are so audacious they'll just do it in broad daylight. It's crazy.
So, 5 years on, has anything actually changed?
She was killed in the evening.
Oh, was
She was
it?
killing me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry for mine. False facts.
False facts.
I am not the fact person here.
No,
Chelsea.
but it could have been, like,
Maybe it's just
when
another.
it gets to summer,
maybe,
when it's.
maybe I'm just thinking of another violence against women experience.
But it's true because these things can happen at any point of the day, not just the dark.
That's what I mean. But yeah.
So yeah, 5 years on, has anything actually changed? 122 women have been killed by a man or where a man had been charged with her murder of manslaughter in 2022. So 98 of those resulted in murder. So 98 out of 122.
Yeah.
So
Or manslaughter.
or manslaughter. 12 men had killed themselves after the killing. 4 died awaiting trial, and 1 was considered legally responsible for the death of a woman who killed herself.
That's a whole other podcast episode.
Yeah.
And 1 following a trial of fact, charges were dropped against 2 men, 1 for age and 1 for infirmity. What does that mean, infirmity?
Does it not
Infirmity. No, infirmity, yeah.
like physically couldn't be able to do it?
3, what does age, why age as well, sorry?
Might be really old.
Does that matter?
Could be in his hundreds.
Mobility issue.
Mobility
Yeah.
issues, yeah.
Infirmity is physical or mental weakness.
Yeah, there you go.
What, so just because he's old?
We might be frail, we might not physically be able to.
Ah, okay. I thought it was saying like, oh yeah, old guys don't do that.
Well, we know full well that they do, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, so 3 cases are outstanding and 2 men were charged in 2022 are still awaiting trial at the time of recording. Additional case for which no charges have been brought until April 2025, where 4 men were charged with the murder of 1 woman with a trial date set for October 2025.
So last year.
Yeah. This is what I mean, tracking it in real time.
Sometimes when they do that and it's like you're waiting trial and you can be in prison and you can serve like most of your sentence while you're awaiting trial, and then when you finally get the jurisdiction, then you've only got like barely any of your sentence to actually serve because you've already been. I don't think that's right.
Depends on the part.
I think it should start from the day.
That is more of an issue in America.
I wouldn't.
No, it happens here.
Yeah,
Drug
it
charges
definitely
and
happens
stuff
here.
like that.
It depends on what it is.
The drug dealer, whatever, thinks that they'll be danger to other people or they'll flee.
Yeah, and they'll keep them in. Yeah,
If not, they'll.
Yeah.
but I don't think that's right. No, that definitely happens in the UK. Like I know people. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's no,
I
you'll
think-
stay unless you can pay bail. You'll stay in it.
it's probably more like drug charges and things like that.
It is if they think you'll flee or you're a danger, they won't want you. Whereas in America, it's if you can't pay.
And some domestic abuse charges, they get let out the next day. Because there's nothing to hold them on.
That's why so many people don't actually reported, isn't it?
And then you've got resulting murders and resulting harm against women.
I've never reported anything other than one time because of I've just never felt like it's any point. Just always feels like more stress than, you know.
He said, she said sometimes.
Yeah. And the one time that I have, there's been twice. One for the time that I was speaking about before, and another time was something that was happening next door. Same house, ironically. And I actually had the police officer on the phone, who was a man, start questioning me. So I was reporting domestic abuse next door, said it literally sounds like a woman's getting murdered. I'm really terrified. It's triggering me as well. Starts asking, where am I? And I was like, I'm doing an anonymous call. Don't want to be involved. Don't want anything to do with it. I feel really like triggered, upset. I'm really scared for this woman. Please, can you come out and see and like help her? And then it was like, why are you not telling me where you are? I'm like, why are we focusing on me? Why are we not focusing on the woman that's getting beat up next door, who I've just been awoken from my sleep at 3 a.m. from this man beating up the woman? Literally, my whole fucking bedroom wall vibrated and woke me up because I heard a slam into the wall.
God's sake. I mean, I feel like sometimes call handlers take it more seriously than the actual police officers do. Because then you'll have a police officer then will ring you back.
She was like, he was like, why are you not telling me? Why are you not telling me where it is? I was like, I've literally told you the address and said I am a neighbour and want to be anonymous. Can you not freaking do the maths and figure out where I'm obviously a neighbour? Like, but why are you questioning me? And then I don't think anyone actually came out in the end because I waited up to see.
That's such a shame.
And yeah, so I just kind of like hid in my house just in case he heard me on the phone as well. Like, I was freaking terrified. I was terrified.
What
Scary, man.
Any legal changes?
There was one that was interesting. There's one called Jade's Law, which passed 2 years ago in 2024. So it removes parental responsibility from fathers who killed the mother of their children. And that's what Women's Aid have helped with. Because I think it is a good point of, if they've taken the life of someone,
They should
not be trusted with children.
Or have assumed parental rights. I mean, they have worked. I mean, this is solely Women's Aid work that they have worked entirely hard for 10 years to get this into law.
But imagine if they hadn't have done that.
A piece of phenomenal work. And the right should not be assumed.
Yeah.
Parental rights. There is more funding and more initiatives like the patrols in nightlife areas to prevent predatory behaviour. And then the new Vogue strategy. I've never seen them, but we don't live in a nightlife area, do we? So
I see sometimes there's ones in like Nottingham and Nottinghamshire because they have the police vans out, at night to be like, if you need help, if like you're a bit too drunk or you've accidentally taken drugs, and they have the little setup, you can come in, to close the doors, they help you whatever the issue is, and then help you either get home or with your friends.
There's like Brighton as well. They're quite good. Have you seen that show, Night Coppers? It's quite good. You have a watch of that. But obviously the new Vogue strategy, which is pumping money into education for boys and girls. It's not a lot of money, but it's something. It's a start. High-profile murders of Sarah Everard and Sabina Nessa saw an upsurge of media reports on the killing of women, as well as vigils by the public and platitudes from politicians and the police that needed more to be done. Yet looking back from the perspective of 2024, we see no material change in tackling men's violence against women. And once again, the rhetoric was not really followed by reality. Funding cuts to frontline domestic abuse services and sexual violence services and to the mental health provisions mean that women continue to be put at risk of fatal harm by partners, sons and men whose mental health risk is being inadequately identified and managed.
Can I just share something? So it's been 3 years since my last my last experience with violence from a man.
Yeah.
Um,
The last one, indeed.
I have still not been offered. I'm still on a waiting list for EMDR therapy for my PTSD. And I actually followed that up the other day and found out that I'd actually not been put on the referral list, and now I've got to wait even longer.
That's shocking.
So yeah,
It's all these cuts to things.
these
So...
cuts, everyone's too swamped for everything.
And then you've got lack of evidence of a sea change in attitudes towards fatal violence against women by the government, which is then at odds with family members who have loved them. You know, it's men's fatal violence carry the fight to change law and policy, but they don't see it for what it is because they've not experienced it, potentially. They don't live in the real world.
Yeah,
so they've just cut all these services. They're just putting more women at risk because they're cutting services.
It's sad.
And then obviously the stats, there's been a slight decrease. Slight. 14% of women experienced abuse-related crimes in 2024 to 12.8% in 2025.
So that's a 1.2% decrease.
Yay!
Let's throw a party. Let's have a street parade. Look at all the work you've done
Woo!
for that 1.2%.
Well done.
I mean, it's progress.
Yeah,
It is
no, I
still
appreciate
progress.
that.
And it's in the right
yeah.
direction of going down.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it is 1 point something percent,
Yeah.
it's just not fast enough, is it?
Yeah, I fully agree.
And then you've got all this shit with stupid men online. But anyway, we'll move on from that. That's a whole thing. We say ourselves. So 5 years on, there's been some changes.
I'll go over here if you know.
Like Jade's Law and more awareness.
I think, though, they should do that in schools. You know, I don't know if they still do PSHA.
They must do.
But, you know, if this is what healthy relationships look like, etc. This is what this type of abuse looks like, etc.
Yeah.
But further it. Because I went to an all-girls school. I didn't learn about that. I just learned the don't get pregnant.
So I think what stayed consistent, not just don't get pregnant,
Yeah.
is the people pushing for change. So families, campaigners, communities, places like the Rhubarb Club. You know, if you want to come and join our Hate is Hate campaign, you're more than welcome to. Thank you for listening. Obviously, if it's triggered you, if you feel like you want to come and talk to somebody, you're more than welcome to. We'll link some helplines and things in our bios. But, you know, please don't sit there on your own and don't think that you can't come and speak to somebody. You know, if you feel angry about something, come and do something about it. Change the situation for yourself.
Yeah.
And others, because that's the only way we're going to make any kind of difference.
Get involved.
Get involved.
It's sad that it's always the people that are the most affected, though, that have to lead the fight on that, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately,
But I do have personally like a lot of friends and male friends who are very proactive in making sure that the women in their life are safe, and I really appreciate that. So surround yourself with good friends. Always check on your friends and always send the text me when you get home message. That goes for men and women as well. Make sure the women in your life get home safe. I think that's a positive change that's happened since as well.
I mean, Colette does it to me.
Everyone.
When I leave her house and I'm driving. So she's like, text me when you get home. You didn't text me when you got home. I'm really sorry.
My friend, I saw him last night and he was like, text me when you get home. And I was like, oh, nice. Got home, forgot to text him. Are you home safe? I was like, yes, I am. Sorry. Sorry, I forgot. Thank you.
Why didn't you tell me?
There is a great song by Bo Anderson. She is a Scottish singer. She's got one called 12-Minute Walk, which talks about, you know, a 12-minute walk isn't long, but it's long enough for something to happen. So it's a nice song. Obviously, it has a very sad message, but I'd listen to it. Give it a listen.
Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you are enjoying our episodes. Give us a thumbs up, comment.
Yeah. Share it with a friend.
Share it with a friend.
Family member.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Male family members.
Yes.
Come on. We need more men on board.
Hello.